Welcome back to Crawford-Clark Close-Up. Over this month, we've been looking back over a number of horror classics, and they don't come much more classic than the Hammer horror retelling of Dracula, loosely based on Bram Stoker's original novel. Simply titled Dracula in the film's opening credits, though referred to today as the horror of Dracula due to the sheer number of Dracula screen adaptations over the years, this is director Terence Fisher on his finest form in the genre, with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee as the film's star names, as Van Helsing and Count Dracula, respectively. 2018 sees the film celebrate its 60th anniversary, and it still feels as fresh today as it would have done for original audiences over half a century ago. From the outset and throughout, James Bernard's score is pulse-pounding and intrusive, highlighting shock moments like the first time Lee's Dracula bares his teeth and makes for Jonathan Harker in his castle, to the death of Harker by stake. The story begins with Jonathan Harker's 3rd of May 1885 diary entry as he makes for Castle Dracula by horse and carriage. But the contrast to Stoker's novel is that Harker is aware of Dracula's reign of terror, and he's determined to end this by being invited into the castle under the false pretense of cataloguing Dracula's books. The film was released in full Technicolor, so could benefit from all the grisly effects. The blood still looks like very thick red paint, but it's nonetheless effective. Most impressive is the grand interior set design for Castle Dracula, juxtaposing its curved arches with its vertical lines and deep staircases. It's the interpretation of Dracula that impresses most here. The late great Christopher Lee embodies the character complete with mannerisms and tics to a T, and despite the fact that he'd previously played the creature in the previous year's Curse of Frankenstein, this was Lee's debut performance as Dracula. Though he would go on to play the chilling antagonist multiple times over the following 15 years, this is the quintessential portrayal of the character, and his entrance, appearing at the top of his staircase and gliding effortlessly down the steps to greet Harker, is a joy to watch in its simplicity. With an incredible cast including the aforementioned Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, as well as Michael Gough, John Van Aisen, Carol Marsh and Melissa Stribling, this was Hammer Horror's first production and a sign of great things to come for the production company. Beautifully shot and edited throughout, the 1958 Dracula stands as one of the strongest imaginings of Bram Stoker's Creature of the Night to date on screen. Yes, it takes liberties with the source material, but it weaves a classic tale containing all the essential tropes of the horror genre, with knockout performances and storytelling. From Crawford-Clark Close-Up on the film's 60th birthday, the 1958 Dracula is... What do you think of this particular adaptation of Dracula? How do you rate Christopher Lee as the classic antagonist in the pantheon of Dracula adaptations? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to Crawford-Clark Close-Up for more. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and you can also email us with your suggestions for future reviews on the channel, crawfordclarkcloseup@gmail.com. Coming soon, we'll be rounding off our horror season of reviews by exploring William Friedkin's The Exorcist on the film's 45th anniversary, as well as ranking the Halloween series of films in preparation for the release of the new film, getting its release later this month. Plenty to look forward to for horror fans for the rest of this month on Crawford-Clark Close-Up. Until next time, thanks for watching, and that's a wrap.